Welcome back, guys, to my golf coaching channel. Today's topic is how do I even start the downswing? There's 4 segments of the golf body: the pelvis, the torso, the left arm, and the club or the wrist. And these elements need to fire the downswing in the correct sequence: pelvis first, torso second, left arm third, club fourth. If that sequence is broken, you're probably not going to be very efficient. And one of the best ways to go about it is to actually work on just firing the pelvis first. So at the end of the backswing, I want to make sure rotationally that my pelvis starts to move first without the torso moving. We're going to give you some exercise today on the driving range. You can nurture this pattern, and then we're going to go to the gym because it's a bit of a physical component also to be able to rotate the pelvis with the torso being stable. Right? So not everyone can do that, and some people maybe sway side to side or take the torso with them. We're going to do 2 exercises now. We're going to use it as a warm-up. I haven't hit a golf ball yet today. Here's our first exercise. We're going to go halfway in the backswing. We're going to stop for about 2 seconds, 1, 2, and I'm going to start the downswing from this unorthodox moment. Right, halfway back, 1, 2, and we're going to hit a shot. Your instincts will say, well, I have no momentum, I have no force, there's no kinematic energy. I'm going to have to find it. And the only way to find it is to torque into the ground. And when you torque into the ground, your pelvis will start moving. Halfway back, 1, 2, hit a shot. So we'll do it again. Halfway back, hit a shot. Once you're comfortable with the half swing, we're going to go into a 3/4 swing. Do it again, this annoying pause drill. 3/4 back. Be very disciplined in holding the position at the top of the swing. All right, this was our first exercise. Our second exercise is a fun one too. We can nurture the right pattern of starting the pelvis first on downswing with a certain stance. Because I want you to think about it for a second. If somebody aims really right, but remembers the target is over left, he or she will probably start with the club face really early and with the left arm really early in an effort to square up the face. Right, so your pelvis would probably not be leading. The pelvis will be forced to lead if I put the club face down the target line, and then if I were to open up my stance and have the challenge to still push it to the right of the stick, you will see the only way to get it done is to lead with the pelvis dramatically. So we're going to start with a little chip shot. There you go. So we'll do it again. Club face is square, stance is open, and I'm going to rip on the pelvis to push it to the right. Once you understand the pattern, by all means, start putting a little bit more speed and length into the swing. You can actually cheat this exercise. So some people in my golf lessons in Canada, they've done this. They open up the face like that. That's not allowed. To push the ball is to actually really tuck on the handle. You just start with the hips first, tuck on the handle so the shaft is leaning, the club face is more open. Alright, so this is called the open stance push shot. Club face square, stance open, and then pelvis. There you go. Longer swing now. Still open, but maybe a little bit less. And I'm going to push it again. Nice push draw despite the open stance. Look to the right, push draw. Alright, let's go to the gym. We have to learn to isolate these movements and train them in the gym. So much easier sometimes to learn the golf swing in the gym. Let's go. So before we go into our exercises, I want to demonstrate real quick on the 3D motion system, how the pelvis and the torso are separating, how the pelvis is starting to downswing. A good visual sometimes helps the idea of moving better. So in the backswing, looks like a good backswing. And if you look at the K angle in the bottom corner there, it should increase in the early part downswing because I'm separating my pelvis on its own. There you go. If I do it incorrectly and I start with my torso instead of the pelvis, right? So you can see my pelvis stays, my torso is moving, all my power is coming from the upper body. You will not see the separation, and it's very hard to accumulate energy in the downswing.
Calibration in 3, 2, 1. Calibration complete.
I've calibrated myself to this angle now, so we're going to see it from this view as well. Halfway back, there you go, pelvis separates. Right, once again, we're doing it badly. Backswing, torso first, and now it's the pelvis first. There you go. Right, we're going to go on our exercises now. From my experience, I know for a fact these body movements are always better to train in the gym. They're a little bit hard to focus on the driving range, and I think it's always an advantage to train and drill the golf body in the gym so you don't have to think about it on the range. I'm going to run you through 5 exercises that will help you to disassociate your lower body, starting the downswing in the correct sequence, and each exercise will add in complexity and difficulty. First, the simple one. We're going to be on our back. We're going to have our lower back flat to the ground, a little bit wide with our shoes, and we're going to drop our knees to the right and to the left. There you go. Make sure you maintain the lower back close to the ground as good as you can, so you're bracing your core a little bit. There you go. All right, that's our first exercise. So our second exercise is called the stork turn. We're going to use a dowel or one of these rollers here for stability. And what we're going to do is we're going to face a wall. We're going to put one shoe behind the knee. Whoops. And we're going to put one shoe behind the kneecap, and we're going to face our torso straight ahead, and we're going to try to rotate our hips this way. And then the other leg. Oops. Lower body stability. And you're not going to get much movement out of it, but just for the brain to understand separation is all we need. In the beginning, you might just rotate a little bit like this, right? Keep your gaze forward, and once you get better, you can start rotating better. So our third exercise, we're going to imitate the golf swing a little bit more narrow stance than normal, because we have to have some room to step to the right. So fairly narrow stance, we're going to step to the right, load into the backswing, really find your right glute there, and we're going to explode out of this right leg and put our knees high as we can, close to the left shoulder. We're going to go back and forward, we're going to load. And we're going to keep our gaze again forward. Make sure you're not rotating your upper body. The upper body keeps facing the camera. And then of course the other side. There you go. There you go. So we have a band, we have it anchored to the side. Golf posture once again. And we're going to do a tiny little half backswing to the side. And I'm going to keep the band under tension. I'm going to try to rotate into the other direction. Okay, so a couple of masturbations to the left. Typical pitfalls I see in this exercise is they start looking for more range of motion when they're already at the end range. So it could look like something like you're starting to sway a little bit in either direction. So I'd rather have less range of motion, but do it properly and stay in the middle. There you go. So backswing to the side, keep the band under tension, make sure it's not loosening during the rotation of the pelvis. So one more time, in the beginning you might just be like, oh, I don't get much movement. And then over time, you can start getting more and more movement. And of course the other side, I'm going to show you from the back side as well, so you see it. Backswing as a left-handed golfer, and then a couple rotations this way. I'll do a bad example again, something like this. Make sure you're rotating. Stay centered. Our last exercise is pretty intense, called a disassociation plank. All right, so we have a typical plank exercise, holding it like this. All right, that's for the advanced athletes amongst us. We're going to go into a backswing. We're going to get a big stretch in our torso, come back down, and then the right leg goes under like this. Backswing with the torso, coming down, the right leg goes under. And then of course the other side. There you go. So we have 5 exercises that add in complexity, that get more and more difficult. Once you get good at these exercises, you can then start the downswing in the proper sequence as we discussed at the beginning of the video. There you go. I find it's so much smarter to learn these moves in the gym, not necessarily in the driving range. Yes, I've given you 2 exercises for the bridging effect between gym and golf swing with our open stance push and the pause drill, but typically see quicker results if you actually do hit the gym or use it as a warm-up exercise. Like some of these exercises could be easily done on the driving range before you swing, right? Just to get the brain going, separating the lower body. So that concludes our video in regards to how do I even start the downswing. Pelvis first, bridge the gap between warm-up exercises or gym exercises and my 2 golf swing exercises, and your golf swing will feel so much more efficient, and have fun with that. Have a nice day.